Have you ever wondered what happens when the empath finally chooses themselves? Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." For empaths, this privilege often feels delayed. They spend years absorbing the emotions of others, healing wounds they didn't create, and sacrificing their own needs in the name of compassion. But there comes a moment when the empath realizes something powerful. Self-neglect is not selflessness, it is self-erasure. When an empath finally chooses themselves, everything shifts. The first change is clarity. Jung believed that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. The empath begins to see how their patterns of overgiving have been driven by unconscious fears: fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of not being enough. Choosing themselves means bringing these patterns to the light, and in that light they find freedom. The second change is boundaries. What once felt selfish now feels sacred. The empath learns to say no without guilt, because they understand that protecting their energy is not cruelty, is wisdom. Jung described individuation as the process of becoming whole, and boundaries are a crucial step in that journey. The third change is transformation. As the empath withdraws from toxic dynamics, they begin to reclaim the pieces of themselves that were lost. Creativity blossoms. Peace takes root. They stop seeing themselves only as a mirror for others and begin to recognize their own reflection. But perhaps the most profound change is power. For so long, the empath's sensitivity was seen as weakness. Yet Jung taught us that our greatest wounds hold our greatest strengths. When the empath chooses themselves, their empathy doesn't disappear, deepens. But now it flows from a place of strength, not sacrifice. They no longer drown in the emotions of others. They stand as a lighthouse, shining, steady, and unshaken. So what happens when the empath finally chooses themselves? They awaken, they become whole. And for the first time, they realize that true compassion begins not with others, but within.